comes from one of the founding members of EIT Raw Materials, Metso Outotec. Your name is Jansson, and you will tell us now a lot more about a few of the projects that you have been very active in.
Absolutely. Welcome. Thank you, Mia. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for giving me this opportunity to present Metso Outotec sustainability project, which has been funded by EIT. But before I'm starting, I need to show you one picture regarding Metso Outotec. This was a merger in between two big Finnish mineral industry technology providers in the summer, and it means that we are now becoming one of the biggest one in the world in this field. And sustainability is extremely important for the company. For my part, this started everything in Finland in 2012 with one of the famous dam breakage, and we started to think about that, how can we avoid these kind of things of happening in the future. So we have been already working 8 years on the topic. And one of the points I was asked to kind of address is that how are we coming up with these kind of cases? Fundamentally, lots can be done inside the office, but it's very seldom it's really kind of taking air under the wings. So we prefer to discuss with the customers and follow up our main customers in the field. This is extremely a good point coming from Anglo-America since last year. They are really kind of addressing that the water is really an asset. It's nothing more than a real asset. Many of these kind of new cases which are coming up in the world are belonging to areas where water is really scarce raw material. So if we want to kind of go into that way and follow the industry, we have to come up with the new technological solutions which is kind of making this possible. And you are talking about very big amount of money what you are talking about, so these are not small ones. So keep that one in mind. Second issue what you have to keep in mind is the investors. It's not only our customers who are the mining operators, there is investors behind it. There are insurance companies who has to pay in terms of an accident which is happening. And they are stressing that there shouldn't be none of these mining companies that doesn't have these sustainabilities anymore on their strategical agenda on annual basis. So everybody is now looking for the way how can they become more sustainable. This is also driven by the fact, I think that many of you have seen this kind of maps before, which is a map about water scarcity in the world, where the yellow one is less known and the red is extremely heavy water scarcity. So they're basically not much of water available. And there is also dots kind of pinpointed on the map, which is telling that where you have the mines allocated today. And you can see that these match extremely good in between each others. So we can really see lots of mines in desert zone and extremely water scarce area. So whatever is kind of done from the technological point of view, we have to address this situation. So what have we been doing in Outotec? And this is one of those projects which we have been focusing on, and this is what we call the Outotec Water Advisor. When you start to kind of make a new development for a new site, and you want to stress the water, many of our customers, it's very difficult to start because they don't have the basic knowledge of what they have on the site. How much water they have, what's the quality of the water, is it available around a year, etc., etc., etc. So this is the first tool which is trying to address that one. And it's not only a kind of ordinary mass balance tool, this is also based on chemical reactions and assays. So we can really tell that what is the stuff which is, and the water quality, what you have in different places there, what can you use where, how can you connect it in a different way, so you can lower down the water usage. And we are talking about fresh water usage. And just to kind of pinpoint, for socio-political issues, the most important parameters is that how much are you using fresh water and how much of effluent are you generating. Those are the points what we try to address. At the simultaneous time, it's not allowed that you are weakening your process performance. So it's just not to kind of connect the effluent to the raw water stream and say that now we are closed. You have to have something else here. So this has been a huge effort and help from the EIT, raw materials. Then this is of course one of those steps. The second step on this one, it's not funded by the EIT yet, but this is really to make it work. So first you have the program and the systems which are telling that how it's possible to make, and you can play around it. The next step is to close it really up. And that work we have been doing. But once again, if you see the graph on the screen, you have the water balance in a typical case on the upper part, and then a closed one in the lower part. And you see a blue dot, which is representing the process water, which is in extremely tight closed system. You understand that that water has to be also cleaned in some way, but not in the similar way as you need to clean wastewater. In this lower part, you don't generate any wastewater. So absolutely a benefit. So it's a totally new game, and hope that we can discuss about that later on in the upcoming years. So from the summary, whenever you are going to start with a new idea, there is, I would say, a couple of main things what you have to always to look for. What is the external people thinking about your project? Personally, I always start from them. I always go to the sites and kick the stones. That's absolutely the best way of how to ensure that you have right type of project in your hands. So basically following the customer needs. The next topic is more or less that you want the customer to say what you want. Then you know that it's sold. However, this is not possible if you don't have a good kind of networking behind you. And I think that in this case, EIT has been showing extremely good resources for us. Thank you. That's the way how you can build up all these cases. But remember, it is very good that you have this external part covered. But the big fighting ground is always the internal sales. So be sure that you have it. You are sure that you have the resources allocated, you have the funding allocated, everything of that once. Follow the timelines and the milestones. I think that then you are good. So by this one, I would like to stop my presentation and only kind of show you this famous statement by Albert Einstein. Sorry. So thank you.
Thank you very much, Kai Jansson.